Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. Welcome to episode 5 of building a 2012 collection within PokeMMO from scratch by only flipping 2012 Pokemon. It's currently January 13th as I'm recording, and the market is actually in a slower period, so I've had to wait a little bit longer, but I still do have some awesome sales to check out in the GTL. But I also wanted to quickly welcome some new viewers. If you're new here, what's up? Make sure to like the video if you do enjoy today's content and subscribe to see more videos like this. I wanted to re-explain the origin of this account. Firstly, this is 1 mil 1 day. This is a challenge account where I had to make 1 million Pokeyen in 1 day of playing PokeMMO, which I was able to do within around 14 to 16 hours. Now you can see the hours have gone up after using the 1 million Pokeyen from this account to start flipping. So I started this series with 1 million Pokeyen, which I made from scratch within 1 day. Now I have all of these 2012 Pokemon which are added to my collection, which may look like nothing, but like these Abras are all worth around 2 to 300k a piece. This Chansey's somewhere between 600 to 800k. The Dragonair is some solid Pokeyen. The Phoebus is like around 1 mil. All of these Pokemon are worth solid amounts of Pokeyen because 2012 Pokemon are not cheap. I also have some 2013 Pokemon that I've kind of touched in and experimented in. That was for better or for worse. I'm excited to honestly build a 2013 collection. I might try to resell some of these off as the market sort of readjusts on that. It had a very interesting period where it spiked up and then it sort of readjusted, and I made a mistake and I bid in too soon. But let's go ahead and check out what has sold today. So we did sell a Phoebus for around 1 million Pokeyen, and I love saying that because once again, the series itself started with 1 mil. The fact that I can now collect Pokeyen like that, I now have 1.8 million Pokeyen plus all the mons in here. I'm probably sitting at a net worth of something between 5 to 8 million Pokeyen, which is just insane in my opinion for the series so far, or how little time I actually spend on the account. I'm just really happy about that. You can make some really insane Pokeyen per hour flipping and doing stuff like this, even like flipping one specific market like I've been doing. And look, wow, as we can see, it looks like someone has kind of bought up a little bit of the 2012 market. I haven't checked at all today, so this is all first-time viewings. Usually, at the time right now, 2012 Pokemons are usually at a base price of around 150k, but that's being kicked up to around 200k. And not even that. It's crazy how quickly this becomes 300k, if you notice. Like, 1, 2, 3, then you reach 250, 4, 5, 6, like 6 or 7 Pokemon. Wow, 6 or 7 2012 Pokemon, and then you're already reaching 300k. Also, there's a bunch of these are 1 times 31. That's pretty amazing. It does seem like someone really wanted to buy up or buy in to the market, so things might be a little more expensive than we expect right now, which that means it's a good time to sell. If things are too expensive, or more expensive than they usually are, that's a better time to be selling than it is to be buying. But I always like to check out Pokemon like Tauros, Pokemon like Chansey, Pokemon like Pinsir or Scyther. These are all Safari Pokemon that back in the day were not easy to catch. They were not easy to come by. Let's see how many Pokemon are actually on the market itself at the current time. Only 97. So, man, as time goes on, only 97. Less and less 2012 Pokemon are even on the market itself. Wow. I said the market was slow recently, and I mean, maybe this is just a portrayal of that because it's post-Christmas event. It's post, a lot of players are burnt out. A lot of players spent all their money on the Christmas event. A lot of people are now sitting on investments. A lot of people are in the rebuild stage of their account. A lot of people are doing their gym runs every day or trying to do flipping and stuff here and there. But a lot of people are not in a situation where they can be spending money on frivolous things like 2012 collectibles. And I've explained this a couple of times, but since we're halfway into the series, or maybe a half, I'm not even sure how many episodes there'll be. Episode 5 is a good check mark or a benchmark, I would say. The reason why 2012 Pokemon are valuable, people ask me all the time. They're kind of comparable to, I always compare them to base set Pokemon cards. People have nostalgia for them. It's the first set, the first thing of a very old campaign. People want to sort of relive their childhood. There's very few of them that exist. Very few of them are in good condition. Like a lot of old base set Charizards, base set Pokemon cards. It's hard to find them in good condition. That's one of the biggest things, right? And that's kind of it's the case with 2012 Pokemon. It's hard to find them with good IVs. It's hard to find them with good nature. It's hard to find them with decent anything, right? It's hard to find interesting Pokemon, you know, like your Charizards, aka your Blastoise, your Chanseys, your Safari Mons, etc., etc. And people do end up wanting to collect these, and people have started collecting 2012 Mons like 2 or 3 years ago, back in like 2020, 2021, but the market was so small and so underdocumented because we didn't have this advanced search. They only added this ability to search by catch year over the past, man, not like 6 months or so. It's a very, very new feature. So not many people, the market is still very, very developing, and I've wanted to get into flipping and get into making Pokeyen and abusing that developing market, and I've been very successful at doing it, thankfully. Let's check over at the 2013 market and just see what's going on. We see some Squirtles and Blastoises. 1 mil for that Squirtle is pretty interesting. No Blastoises, Charizards, Charmanders. Looking at around, like still pretty expensive for Charmander. So 2013s are way less important. The big reason why, you know, 2012s are so rare is because they haven't been bred the entire time. They aren't on an account that got banned from 2012. There were very few players in 2012. 2012 only existed in PokeMMO for 6 months. It was created around June 2012, so you had around 6 months to learn about the game and then go catch Pokemon. The game popped off a lot more in 2013. 2013 is actually when I started playing on my main account. So there's a lot more 2013 Pokemon. You had a whole year, plus things were just a little different at that point. There's a lot more 2013 Mons as opposed to 2012. As you can see, 2012s are truly the rare ones. All right, I've been rambling a lot today, but not really making any money moves, and that's not something I like to do. So let's try to figure out. The issue is today is not really a good day for buying. It's not really a good day for flips unless some sort of like really good snipe pops up or something of the sort. So I might just check out if I have anything good to sell. Maybe it's a good day to sell, right? Maybe I'll sell some of like 2 of these extra Abras or something. I thought about going for Abracadabra and Alakazam, but it might just be better to sell off the extra Abras and just keep one. I think it's more, I would prefer that in my collection, I feel like. Like the cheapest Abra right now on the GTL is around 400k, so I'm pretty comfortable listing one of the ones that I do have for around 400k. If it sells for that, that would be super, super good. The question is, which one do I want to go ahead and sell? I probably want to keep, we'll keep 1 female, 1 male. And we'll probably keep the Rash one per se. This one has 25 plus almost and a couple stats though, which just look really nice. I'm going to go ahead and sell this for 400k. If you don't remember, I bought a lot of these Abras really early on in this series. I bought a lot of these Abras. I sniped a lot of these. So someone was listing a bunch of them for super cheap, must have came back to the game and didn't understand the market. That's one of the biggest positives of 2012 Mons is you have some of the most insane room for potential in terms of profit growth or profit percentage, right? You can buy things for 5k and sell them for 500,000 Pokeyen, right? It's just about finding the right sale and being on at the right time. Something I've been keeping an eye on a ton recently is 2013 and 2012 shinies. I feel like these are things that would be kind of like a magnum opus, incredible thing, like peak of my collection. Like this Ambipom for 6 mil is like actually an insanely good price in my opinion. If I had the money, I would probably go ahead and pull the trigger on it. Like Apom is not an easily found and easily caught Pokemon. The fact that he has this for 6 mil is super solid to me. 2013. 2012 shinies are a lot more expensive. As you can see, there's only 1 on the GTL and it's 68 mil. This is pretty insane. A 2012 shiny would be like the dream. Like any 2012 shiny to own would be just incredible. I would be happy to end the series at that point, but until then, I have a lot more money to make. Alright, so far today's episode has mostly been a recap episode and sort of re-understanding what this series is all about because today's just a really, really slow market day, so I'm actually going to log off for the time being. Once again, it's currently January 13th. I'll see you guys with another day when the market is moving a little more and I can actually make some more money moves. You can't force things on days like this. That's a super important lesson to learn. All right, yo, what's up? I'm back on January 15th, and there's been a couple new Pokemon lists, just a little bit of stuff here and there, and the base price of 2012 Pokemon continues to bump up, and it's just insane to me. This Growlithe is actually 2012 250k, so there's no other Growlithe on the GTL, and the next only Pokemon is an Arcanine listed for 650k. Now, does that mean this Growlithe is worth 650k? Not really, in my opinion. However, I'm going to go ahead and buy this Growlithe because Growlithe is a pretty beloved Pokemon. My thought process behind this is people actually probably care about having, let's say, Ninetales and Vulpix as well. There's not many of those. How long has that been listed for? Around a day. There's not many people or there's a lot of people rather who might want or care about having that 2012 Growlithe. A lot of people really like Arcanine. It's their favorite Pokemon, yada yada. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually probably buy, I'm gonna buy and sell this Arcanine for probably 600k and see how that goes. I think he's a pretty beloved Pokemon, probably decently caught, since a lot of people probably went for him in that one Kanto location to the west of, what is the west is west of Lavender Town, I believe. There's a decent spawn there that I'm sure a lot of people went for, but once again, pretty desired Pokemon. The same amount of people who went for those during the storyline are the same people who might want to buy them this many years later. So I think that's a pretty solid flip. Just go ahead and buy and resell on the GTL. The next question is whether I want to flip this Ninetales or not. I've also been looking at this Execute. There's a shocking amount of Executes on the GTL usually. There's none right now, crazily enough, but Ninetales is the other one. I don't really see too many Ninetales. I feel like 300k is not bad for this. There's no other Ninetales, no Vulpix. The question is, do I want to buy this to flip it for maybe like 5 to 600k? Maybe if I were to sell it for 600, sure, but I feel like I'd probably list it for 5. The fact that, you know, it's a Ninetales. If it was a Vulpix, maybe I would go harder into it. Cacnea is another interesting one I've kind of been watching. This is a really uncommon Pokemon in 2012. I don't remember exactly why, unfortunately, but obviously just non-Gen 1 Pokemon themselves were very uncommon in PokeMMO 2012 because there was very unique ways of actually achieving those. It's been listed for 15 hours or so. I'm going to go ahead and actually buy this Cacnea. I have a feeling I'm going to be sitting on it for a really long time. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this is a Pokemon that I'm going to be sitting on for a super long time. I usually don't like buying non-Gen 1 Pokemon, but I think there's enough flip value out of it that I think it's actually worth potentially buying. Non-Gen 1 Pokemon that are 2012 are usually, in my opinion, not super desired. I feel like a lot of people who are collecting 2012 Pokemon are going for a full 1 to 151, like the original Pokedex set. So I don't see a whole lot of people going for like Cacnea and etc. stuff. I am going to go ahead and bite on this Ninetales as well. If I'm not doing anything with my money, what's the point of having it? You know, I feel like that's the big thought process. I'm going to try to sell this for, I'm going to try to go 600k. I might go 500 on it. Man, it's really close. I think at 5, it's so much more likely to sell. I feel like the mental difference between 5 to 600k is kind of there. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, there's like a mental thing when you see different numbers. It's kind of like seeing something that is, you know, $8.99. The human brain usually thinks, oh, that's $8, as opposed to it actually being $9. Good old manipulative sales tactics in a Pokemon MMO. I know, but it's important to use whatever resources we have access to. So that's going to leave me with 837k for the time being. We'll see what sells in the next couple days. All right, logging in at a different day. It's currently January 17th, 2024, and we just have some Pokemon to relist, which makes a ton of sense given how slow the market is right now. Now, I do want to go ahead and like double check what the prices are at and if they're still around the same price. I believe this was a 2012 Hypno. Yeah, it's really important. So this was previously listed at 350k. I want to go ahead and actually see if there's any other Hypnos or Drowsies that have been listed. I feel like that's a Pokemon that was pretty dried up on the marketplace. There's a Drowsy for 500k. I feel very comfortable listing this for 350k, even not maybe even 400k. That's kind of tempting. I'm gonna go ahead and do that actually. Go 400k on it and see if a collector bites. And then the Snorlax was only listed. It's a 2013 Snorlax. That's the problem, because that was only listed for like what, 300k or so, which is really cheap for a Snorlax right now. 2012 Snorlaxes have gone up in price pretty well, which I kind of expected, like up to 1 mil or so. It's just a really rare Pokemon from that era, and also like a pretty iconic one in Fire Red Leaf Green. Let's up this number to 2013 though and see what the current price is. 2013 Snorlaxes, 60k, 100k, not looking good. Honestly, it's kind of tempting. I have no reserves just buying these. It's 160k for 2 Snorlaxes. This might seem a little silly. I'm totally fine with this. Now, I'm only going to list one for the time being because there's no point for 300k. But there's no point in listing multiple of these Snorlaxes at the moment. I'm going to throw these other ones over in this, you know, pile to relist or resell later on. But for now, we'll just stick to that one listing. You don't want to flood the market. That's something that, with a market like this, you really want to be careful about that. Now, this Kabuto didn't sell. 2013s are burning a hole in my pocket, as we can see, as I just buy more. But I do think in time, like Kabuto for 148. If anything, just want to hold on to this. Do I really care about selling this for that price? I'm down to just hold on to this, man. The issue is there are a fair amount of Kabutos from 2013. Even though they are decently desired. I mean, there's going to be one like one per what? 50% of accounts, I would say, probably get Kabuto. Maybe more, maybe 60-40. Like, people probably lean Kabuto over Ammonite, to be fair. We'll just store that away for now. And this is kind of the problem that I have, is I just have a lot of mons. A lot of these 2013 mons, I put a lot of money into them, and I'm kind of paying the price. But even if I make like 1 or 2 flips off them, I think it does end up being super worth it. So we've got this. Actually, this 2013, this is not really worth it. Togepi. Let's see. There's no Togepis listed, to be fair. I'm happy to go ahead and list this for like 300 to 500k. I think 300k is fine. Like, the good thing about these 2013s is if, 1 or 2 of them sell, there's huge money to be made, which is still super nice. Down to 627k at the moment, checking out the recently listed 2012 Pokemon. We see a Phoebus here for 2 mil. We've got some Executes. We've got a Hitmonchan for 500k, which doesn't seem super expensive to me. I actually think there's flip room here. The question is, do I want to buy it and hold it, etc.? Hitmonlee is currently going for around 700k. This Chan's been listed for 500k. I think I'm down to flip this. It's a 300k flip or so if it sells. I'm going to go ahead and buy this and try to sell it for 800k. I think that's reasonable. When there's a 1x31 selling for around 1 mil, I think it's maybe slightly underlisted, but we're going to try to attempt that flip. That does put me at 100k. I will say that puts me at 100k, Pokeyen, which is not a good number to be at, because if I have to relist 4 more things, bam, there it goes. Poof, there goes the money. So hopefully some of this stuff sells. But once again, it's a slower economy. You could argue that right now it's stupid of me to even be trying to list off stuff, or at least this much stuff. To be fair, I am holding a lot of stuff. I am sitting on much more. Like, I wouldn't be sitting on this much if it wasn't for this state of the economy. So honestly, I think I'm making fair enough moves. Yeah, I think 8 Pokemon listed. I think it's reasonable. I think staying under 10 for specific niche Pokemon. Now, you can obviously still list a ton of Pokemon in this market and sell stuff and make money, but for something like a 2012, 2013, collector's items, it's luxury goods. Do you really need to be listing, 40 of those Pokemon right now? Probably not. You're probably just eating too much into the listing fees if that's happening. But that is probably going to be the final clip for this episode. Shiny Wars is coming up, but I'm going to have a long break before I'm able to actually check this account again in full. So I'll see you guys in like 10 to 20 days, most likely, on this account. And there should be a ton of stuff that is sold, hopefully a ton of progress. And I'll be seeing you guys next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it's been an entertaining series. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily videos. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's linked down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo do allow me to make content every single day. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace, guys. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And if your name is listed here, you're the reason I'm able to do this in the first place by going above and beyond and supporting the channel via YouTube memberships and Twitch Primes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.